All right. It's nice to see you. Today's webinar is being brought to you by MCSC Women's Business Center. We're a nonprofit business center serving entrepreneurs in SLO, Kern, and Monterey counties. Today's webinar is being sponsored by the SBA, Wells Fargo Bank, Pacific Premier Bank, and the Governor's Office of Business and Economic Development. Their generosity allows us to offer this webinar and our free mentoring services to you at no charge. Thank you, sponsors. The Women's Business Center offers free one-on-one business consulting with professionals in all areas of business, including marketing, budgeting, taxes, you name it. If you have a business need, we can probably help you with it. We also have business mentors to help you plan for profitability. Simply put, our mission is to support you in business, and our services are free. Simply register with us at mcscorp.org to get started, and I will put that link in the chat box shortly. Let me stop my sharing so you can see Melody. There she is. Hello, Melody.
Hi, everyone.
I would like to thank Melody Klemin for presenting today. Melody is a Martha Beck trained life coach and creative consultant who strives to empower women to trust themselves, build thriving businesses, and cultivate lives they love. And I do want to be inclusive. We have some men here today. We love you men as well. With a background in education and nonprofit marketing and development at Cal Poly and the Performing Arts Center, San Luis Obispo, she brings a wide range of expertise in digital media, including website development, social media, email marketing, blog writing, photography, videography, and podcast production. You are in for a treat today. Today's presentation is part one of a three-part series. If you have not registered for the other two, you just want to go to our website and do that. And my follow-up email to you will have the links so you can register for those as well. So I just want to remind everyone that if you are not asking a question, if you could please keep yourself on mute, that would be great. You are free to unmute yourself. Melody is going to be interacting with you. So if you need to unmute yourself to speak, I encourage you to do that. You can also type into the chat box if you want to do that, and we'll get to questions throughout. I did want to launch a quick 30-second poll to find out how you heard about this. So if you could take 30 seconds to do that, that would be great. Thank you. All right. Without further ado, I hand you to Melody.
Thank you so much, Barbara. Hello, all of you wonderful people. I am so delighted to be with you today. Thank you so much for being here. My name's Melody, and I just love the Women's Business Center. So I'm very, very honored, and I feel so fortunate to be sharing a little bit with you today about video. So I'm going to share my screen here. All right. There we go. All right. So, using video in social media marketing. We are on part one of a three-part series. And so just to kind of wrap some context around the series, which I hope you come to part two and three also. So we have part one, really we're diving into the value of video and how to use it. So we're kind of, if you think about like a camera lens, we're kind of dialing out to just talk about how awesome video is, and then actually provide some structure around just video as a medium. In part two, we will really dive into the pre-production process of video. So that really has to do with crafting your story, and then, like physical production, what you need to do in order to, set lights and kind of more the technical side, the sound. And then part three is really going to be about actually clicking record. All of the things you have to keep in mind and be aware of as you are filming, and then how to share it, how and where to share it. And because this is about video for social media marketing specifically, we'll dive into the platforms a little bit in kind of the syndication process and thinking through, how you share what you create. So the goal kind of the series, really, there's just two things I really want to accomplish for you all. I want you all to feel really comfortable producing video content for your own business. So that's number one. And then two, to really start incorporating video content into your social media strategy for your business. So that's kind of the goal of the whole series. Today, we are going to talk about why video is so awesome. We are going to talk about, kind of outline 8 video story types, and we'll get into that and what that means. But by the end of today, hopefully you will have identified 1 or 2 video story types for your particular business. So the goal of today, number 1, by the end of today's workshop, I really hope that you understand why video is so valuable for your business and for you as a business owner. And then hopefully you'll walk away with a video story type to kind of start crafting your video. By the end of this series, I am really hopeful that if you stick with me for all 3 parts, that you're going to be able to produce your own video by the end of this series. So that's kind of the goal. Before I kind of dive in, I'd love to just kind of see in the chat what you're hoping to get out of today's class or the series in general.
So I'm not seeing anything in the chat. Are you, Melody?
Oh, there we go. Yeah,
there
now
is.
it started. Cool.
Okay, it took a minute. All right, thank you guys.
Thank you.
When you enter something in the chat, you can send it to everyone or to just the host panelists. It's up to you.
Great. How to make sure the videos are purposeful and not long or too short and boring. Excellent. A better way to produce social media videos for your company and others. Excellent. Starting your own YouTube channel. That's great. Improve cell phone video content. Excellent. Oh, I love this. Awesome. Knowledge and confidence in creating and sharing video that makes a difference. Creating meaningful video for websites. Excellent. So good. Ease and confidence of getting started and not have the fear of not doing it incorrectly. Oh, you all are so amazing. Yes. This is so great. Thank you. Cool. Well, I mean, if you continue to have thoughts about what you're want to get out of today, please use the chat. Barbara is monitoring it, and I have it open as well. So we'll just dive in to this statement. So video is the #1 dynamic marketing vehicle for your business, and I hope to show you why that is. I just want to start really by breaking down the definitions of marketing and the word dynamic. So just so we're all on the same page about what marketing is the action or business of promoting and selling products or services. So it comes from the Latin root mercari, like merchant, and really is about buying. So the function of marketing is to promote and sell whatever it is you are trying to sell, product or service wise for your business. So, and the cool thing about video is that it really fits into this idea of the word dynamic. So dynamic is characterized by constant change, activity, or progress, and it comes from the Greek root dunamis, which means power. And gosh, like I cannot think of a more powerful medium for kind of illustrating stories around your products and service in a world that is, constantly changing. There's movement, there's activity. You think about how video tells stories in such a powerful way. That is why it's so important, especially right now, especially where we are in our world, to really utilize video to tell your stories and to sell your product or your service. So why video? It really comes down to customer acquisition and customer engagement. So I just want to share a couple of stats with you. They're pretty amazing. So by 2022, this is like from HubSpot and Forbes, these stats are from. So by 2022, online videos will make up more than 82% of all consumer internet traffic. That is a crazy statistic. 82% of all consumer internet traffic, it's online videos. And 90% of customers say video helps them make buying decisions. Think about yourself. 64% of customers say that seeing a video makes them more likely to buy, and video content is shared 1,200% more than links and text combined. So it really is the most dynamic and powerful tool for telling your story that's out there. A post with video, like on social media, holds the viewer for 7 times as long as a post without video. And then thinking about Facebook, video posts on Facebook have 135% greater organic reach than photo posts. And this is, Facebook's algorithm, and Instagram is very similar. So, you're just going to get more organic reach. This is not purchasing ads. This is just straight organic traffic. And they prioritize video in that algorithm. So super important to know that as a business owner. 55% of people watch videos online every day. That's a wild statistic. And 80% of users recall a video ad they viewed in the last 30 days. I kind of love this stat. 80% of users recall a video ad they viewed in the last 30 days. In fact, I would love right now for you to bring to mind a video that you viewed in the last 30 days. So just kind of, it could be on Instagram, it could be on Facebook, just some social media platform. Maybe you searched YouTube for something and an ad popped up. But what was an ad, a video ad that you viewed in the last 30 days? And I'd love to know what made it memorable. Like, how did it make you feel when you watched it? So I would love volunteers if you want to raise your hand. I would love to kind of hear your experience of a video ad that you recalled in the last 30 days.
Hi, Melly. Do you mind if they just unmute?
Oh, that's fine. Yeah, unmute.
Okay, just go ahead and unmute yourself if you want to say something. I have a hard time seeing the hands.
Awesome. Thanks, Carol. So it sounds like Carol, she said, I viewed my profession's ad for CALDA. It describes the reasons to use a legal document assistant instead of an attorney to prepare a trust. That's super interesting. And then Vidya said she saw an ad for a comedian, Charlie Barron. Joe said, saw a car ad for a brand I'm considering. Awesome. And if you're thinking about these video ads you saw, what made it memorable is kind of, and how did it make you feel, are 2 questions I'd be really interested to know. Jill said, seeing the same ad over and over leads me to remember. Yes, consistency keeps that top of mind. Vidya said, where is the best place to buy land and prices? Carol said, I have added the video to my social media and my website. Awesome. And Joe added, the ad was presented by an influencer. It was engaging. All right. Awesome. Thanks for sharing. So when we think about what makes video memorable and what makes it such a dynamic marketing tool, it really comes down to storytelling. So that's what we're going to focus on today. If you could have the highest quality production video in the world, but if your story isn't there, if there's no storytelling, it's just going to fall flat. Like no one will care. So storytelling is really crucial, and that's what we're going to focus on today. And actually, you will notice in this presentation today, there are no video examples, and I did this on purpose. I did this on purpose because I didn't want you to set the bar, at a high production value level. Like, I want to make video accessible to each of you, no matter your skill level with a phone or a camera or however you're taking the video. I just want it to be super accessible, and I don't want you to have these preconceived notions of perfection when it comes to taking videos and creating them. I just want you to feel really comfortable, making a video that's your own. And really, like, you could be using a phone in like the worst lighting and the worst sound quality possible, but if you're telling a really cool story visually, and there's movement and there's a clear storyline, then your video is going to be more valuable and communicate better than the highest quality production that tells no story. So let's dive into that a little bit. You can kind of break up video content and video stories into 4 categories. And so as we're kind of describing the video story types, I'd love for you to think about it in the context of your own business, or think about it in terms of other videos you've seen from other businesses that have kind of stuck with you and been memorable. So the 4 categories really are educational, product-based, company culture, and the 4th is a testimonial. So these are the categories. And you can kind of view each video story type through one of these 4 lenses, and sometimes there's overlap. So we're going to get into the story types right now. And these are the 8. There are more actually, but I just wanted to keep things kind of manageable for today's presentation and not overwhelm you. So we have the spot, the product demo / launch, the explainer video, the company promo video, behind the scenes, employee portrait, customer testimonial, and the web series. So let's just dive right in. Oh, that's funny. Joe said, I remember videos that are particularly poorly done, sound quality, lighting. He just sent that to me, so I'm not sure if I should have said that aloud. Sorry, Joe. But it was such a good comment that, that's so true. It's so good to keep in mind that a video can be memorable, for being awful, also production quality wise. So, all right, let's just move right into the first video story type. So this is called the spot, and the spot, it's like your classic 15 or 30-second commercial, like just a pitch for anything. So the messaging is super versatile. It could be about anything. and it can be distributed everywhere. That's why they call it the spot. And so, you just think about a standard TV commercial or something. And the cool thing about the spot is that, it's literally like a sound bite, it's 15 to 30 seconds. You have to get to your point really quickly about what it is you're trying to communicate, and concisely tell that story in 15 seconds, or 30 seconds, and, sometimes even a minute maybe. So that's the spot. Then there's videos that are really about like showcasing a product. So this is like a product demo or a product launch video or a service demo or service launch video, depending on your business. So this is an opportunity in a video story to really flaunt your product or service to your audience. You get to kind of highlight the cool features, the perks, the benefits. And generally this is done with a charismatic kind of person talking about or demonstrating, whatever your product or service is. And, time-wise, it should be relatively short still, but it's not that like 15 to 30 second kind of vibe. It's more, it's like in the 90 second to, maybe 2.5 minute range, I would say. But high energy usually, and a very charismatic person kind of telling that story about like, this is the coolest product ever, and this is why, and here it is. And so that's the product demo launch. The explainer video kind of takes that product demo launch, and it kind of goes a little deeper. So it's not just like, hey, this is my product, these are the bells and whistles. It's really kind of diving into a product or a service that's not immediately understood, that requires a little more explanation. So it could be really talking about like how the product or the service works, some of the intricacies of how this product or service is helping the customer. And it even typically kind of covers the advantages over the competition. So like it's like your unique proposition, right? About why your product or service is awesome, or and even more awesome maybe than a competitor's. And then number 4 is the company promo video. Carol, did you have a question? No? Okay, cool. Just making sure. So the company promo video is exactly that. You're looking at a minute to 2 minute video that really it gives you the opportunity to highlight the ethos of your company to potential customers. So this is like in that customer acquisition kind of frame of mind. It gives you the opportunity to communicate your brand, like who you are as a business, right? And the most effective company promo videos are, they kind of are out of the box. There's some element of creativity in them that kind of captures the personality of your brand. And it's good to kind of focus on how you want your audience to feel, whatever is kind of the ethos of your business or your company. You want to try and carry that feeling forward in a company promo video. So just kind of with those 4 video story types. So you've got the spot, we have the product demo or launch, and the explainer, and the company promo video. So kind of looking at those 4, I'd love for you to just take a moment and write in the chat which one of those 4 would be the most beneficial to your business right now. I'm seeing company promo pop up. And as you are kind of writing this, we got a lot of company promos and product demos. I'd love for you to ask yourself the question, why? Like, why that one of those 4? and how would that particular video type help your business? And I would love for a brave soul to kind of explain why, if you want to unmute yourself, just making the case for which one would be most beneficial to your business right now.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I just put it in the chat. How is an explainer different to a company promo?
Oh, sure. Yeah. So if we kind of think about the videos in those 4 categories, right? So you have educational, product, company culture, and testimonial. So kind of looking at each video story type through one of those lenses, or multiple lenses. The company promo video is really more about your business, like the ethos of your business, and it's more about the culture, like company culture. So like kind of communicating your brand, and whereas like an explainer video or a product demo video is more about like the services you provide. Yeah. Does that answer the question?
Yeah. So in my position, I am a licensed legal document assistant, which means I can prepare documents for the public rather than them paying the higher cost of seeing a lawyer. So I suppose my video would be better on the explainer side, explaining to my clients that, if you work with a legal document assistant, your fees are about 75 to 80% less than what they would be if you would get the exact same document written by a lawyer.
Yeah.
Plus, it's so super important for me, which I constantly am, spreading the word. I do a lot of presentations, live presentations via Zoom, explaining that if you know what you want and you're not looking for legal advice or a legal opinion, then you can get the same documents that are still written by attorneys, but instead they're presented to you by a registered and licensed legal document assistant. So I suppose for me, it would be more of an explainer as opposed to explaining my company mojo.
Yeah, right. That's exactly right, Carol. And you just like very astutely also you were talking about the advantages, of what your product or service provides, based on the competition, and what savings, that is that the customer is accruing because of that. So that's, yeah, explainer video all the way for you.
So what's the spot? How is that different?
Yeah. So the spot is really, it's not diving in as much. It's just like 15 to 30 seconds of whatever you want to say. But that's it.
Like
that's all the
pitch.
time. Exactly like an elevator pitch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks, Carol. Yeah. I'm just going to look at the chat. So we got a lot of company promo videos and product demo and launch. Awesome. Yes. That's so great. Does anyone want to say a little bit more about why they chose their particular? Yes.
Yeah, sure, I will. So I chose Explainer and Company Promo. Explainer mainly because of the type of services that we provide. We're a service-based company, and it's very confusing for people because they're like, how do you take fat off in 30 seconds? And I can lose like half an inch. So explainer videos is very beneficial for us to say, we can literally take, this excess fat off of your body in this much time. And I think we will also be served with, like before and after videos always work for us too, like as part of explainer video. Will be beneficial for us.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. And before and after is a great format to, yeah. Oh, that's fantastic. Thank you. Anyone else? Fabulous. I'm just going to say aloud a couple of the comments in the chat. So for company promo, Roderick was saying, in an environment of increasing duality and polarization concerning health, my organization is more concerned with helping clients learn how to heal themselves through science-based approaches rather than relying on parties with agendas of their own. Yeah, wow. That's like, I could see that totally being a company promo, because you're talking about that ethos, and like that, you know, there's like science-based approaches, and yeah, that's awesome. And then Joe said, my company is online only now, so a company promo may be used to introduce products we make that people may not know about. Yeah, that's true. Nita asked, how would you classify the old ad, when E.F. Hutton talks, everyone listens? Nita, can you explain a little bit more about what you mean? Okay, well, oh, how do I unmute? Do you, there should be a button
I
where
will,
you can unmute yourself.
do you want me to help?
Thanks, Barbara.
Yeah. So if you just hover over your screen, you're going to see a little button that says mute or unmute. And then sometimes it's at the bottom. I'm not sure what your screen is looking like right now for you. So, you know, I can find you in the list and just unmute you. Let me do that. This is Nita, right?
Yeah.
Okay. The long list. There we are. Oh, you're unmuted, it says. You want to talk? Not working. Okay. Do you want to go ahead and type in the chat what you want to say?
Not working, but E.F. Hutton was a brokerage. Yeah. So I'm wondering if you are meaning, you know, like kind of going for a company promo type of angle there, like, or even a spot. Just like a catchphrase, or like a really good tagline that makes things memorable. That is definitely something to include in a spot, or at the end of like a product demo or launch video or an explainer video, or even your company promo video. Like, you can, if you have a tagline that you just live by, you can rock that like on every video if you want, just to really hit the message home for people. Okay, cool. All right, we're just going to jump into the last four video story types before we do a little more workshopping. So the next video type is really fun. I love this video story type so much. It's the behind the scenes video. And this is really about getting to highlight an interesting process behind your product or service. So I kind of like to think of it as the what / who / where of development and distribution. So like if your business is like creating a product, and then it's like the manufacturing of that product, or the design, like how that product came to life, basically. That's what the behind the scenes video story type does. It tells the story of like what's behind this product, or even with a service, like how did this even come to be? And wow, this is really interesting. It could be anything, but it really is meant to kind of deepen the customer or potential customers' awareness around like this, like, but what's behind, what's really cool that goes into your product or your service behind the scenes. So like the thinking is that the more involved your customers can feel, like, I'm going to take you behind the scenes and kind of show you more about this product or service that I provide or my business provides, then they're going to have more investment in that product or service, because they understand, and that found out this really cool piece of what's behind the scenes in going into that product or service. Behind the scenes videos are like one of my favorites. It's just so fascinating to see, like what goes into the development and distribution of any business's products or service, really. The next one, this is kind of more about company culture, but super, super cool video type. It's called the employee portrait. So if you kind of think about on a website, you have a headshot and a little description of maybe some of your employees or yourself even, if you're a business owner. This is like next level headshot and description. The employee portrait is really awesome at kind of humanizing your business. So you think about employees you have and kind of capturing a portrait of them through video. It's really meant to express the heart and the soul of your company, like the people who work there and make it happen. And that could just be you, and that's awesome. People probably want to get to know you as who you are and what makes you tick and why why you love doing what you do and why you're in business. And this video is particularly great at in terms of company culture for kind of communicating the people who are involved in your company or your business, and like humanizing it so that it deepens the engagement with the community that you serve. So it could even be about, like just what if you're serving folks locally through your product or your service, this really gives you an opportunity to highlight an employee kind of in the context of that community. And in the context of, just the heart that goes into, why you have that product or service and what needs you're fulfilling in your community. Hopefully that makes sense. Awesome. So kind of similar to an employee portrait, but that's more about company culture. The customer testimonial video is really about how your product or service impacts the life of a particular customer, hopefully for the better, right? So customer testimonials are all about social proof, and it's really about, letting customers tell their stories of their amazing experience with you as a business and with your product or service. So it's showing in the video, you would want to ideally kind of show your customer utilizing your product, if that's possible, or your service, and then also letting them speak and tell their story about how their lives were changed for the better, what need you are fulfilling for them. And really, it's an awesome way too to, if you're asking a customer, hey, will you share your story with people about how my product or service has helped you? You're deepening your relationship with your customer. That is such a compliment, and a great way to kind of continue deepening that engagement with your customers is asking them for a testimonial. And then finally, this video story type is a little more involved and takes a little more planning and thought, but it can be really, really fun and great. So this is the web series, and really what it is, it's a series of videos. They could be super short. They could be a little longer if you want, but it's a series that revolves around your business or your brand. So it's kind of about it's episode based, right? It's like serialized content where you're either telling a continuous story in broken up episodes, or there's kind of a theme that goes throughout a bunch of one-off episodes. And the web series is so fun because it gives you a chance to either, you could take videos of your workplace environment. That's like, one way it could kind of be a combo of web series and behind the scenes. Or you can like tell a serialized story, that's kind of about your product or your service. And the beautiful thing about the web series is that it really does, like for those customers who are already your customers, it kind of deepens engagement with them. And for those who aren't yet, it like intrigues, like what is this? This thing I keep seeing, this web series that keeps, popping up in this social media feed. So it builds anticipation because like, you launch one and then you launch the next one and then you launch the next one. And it builds that intrigue and really, has the opportunity to deepen your customer engagement. So those are kind of the back four video story types. And I just want to kind of ask the same question. So of these four, what do you see, which story type of these four do you see being most beneficial to your business right now? So behind the scenes, employee portrait, customer testimonial, or the web series? If you would respond in the chat, that would be excellent. And as you're doing that, I see a couple of questions from Carol. How do I ask my clients to partake in the video process? Yes. Do I make the appointment for a future date or just grab my phone and record their response on the spot? That's a great question. So I'll respond to that one first. How do I ask my clients to partake in the video process? It could be as simple as calling them or and just saying, hey, I'm gathering some customer testimonial videos, I would just love to hear what your experience with me has been. And if I might, if you would allow me to capture that and to kind of share that with other people who might benefit in the same way that you have. So just asking them really, and getting their permission to then share their story. In terms of like making an appointment for a future date or just grabbing your phone and recording them on the spot, like that's up to you. If I were to be approached, I know personally I would be like, well, I would love to set up an appointment. Like I would want to give some thought, maybe 2 or 3 bullet points about like what I want to say and be thoughtful about it. But some people might just be like, yeah, I know right away, like let's do it right now. So totally up to you in the situation. I see a lot of customer testimonial video story types here and a couple of behind the scenes. Mansoor Ward said, I need all of them pretty much. That's awesome. Ooh, that's really cool. Ishel said, employee portrait already started, amateur footage of journey through COVID changes and travels along the way. Yes. Gosh, totally. Personalizing my absence, but engaging resilience through change. Yeah, super powerful. There's a lot of storytelling around like pivoting because of COVID, I'm sure. Make sure it's a good hair day, always. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad Clint asked me this question privately. I hope it's okay that I share it because it's such a great question. Should we have authorization forms for everyone that is filmed? Yes. Yes, you definitely want to have just a form of consent. And I'm happy to provide like an example of that for you. I can email it out with the presentation notes that Barbara will send out. Yes, thank you for asking that, Clint. Behind the scenes, the story of how the wines I'm importing, this is what Lisa was saying, are coming to the US. Follow me on the journey of launching my business. Yes, that's like an amazing behind the scenes kind of story. And you could also kind of think of it as a web series if you wanted to kind of break it up into snippets. Awesome. Carol said, what type of videographer should be used in front of my computer or with a cell phone? So we're totally going to get into that more in part 2, but I'll just answer the question. It could be anything. It could be your phone. It could, if you're kind of communicating with clients on Zoom right now, you can just set up a Zoom meeting with them and pin them. Pin their box in the Zoom, record it, and there's your testimonial video right there. Yeah, so I mean, you don't need a videographer. Definitely not. Employee portrait, said Roderick. I survived COVID, took the vaccine, and I'm using food and lifestyle to heal myself from long COVID. By sharing my own story, I can help others find ways to engage in their own healing journey. Yeah, totally. Awesome. So good. I would love to hear if anyone would be willing to unmute themselves and share, of these 4, why? Why did you pick the one you picked? Behind the scenes employee portrait, customer testimonial, or web series?
I would definitely, hi, I'm Carol. I'm the owner of Interest Legal. I would definitely go with a customer testimonial. I have some amazing reviews on both Yelp and Google. And I have to say 98% of my current clientele comes from the Google reviews or Yelp reviews, because we're a big Yelper Google town, I guess.
Yeah.
But I think, I work with a business strategist. She's also through MCSC, Lorna Whitaker. And she always has told me for quite a while now, you need to get your video done. That's so much more personable. And I think it would be great to take those written reviewers, or even some people who don't want to leave a review, and have them go live, because that, I think, would be so much more powerful than just the written word.
Yeah.
Because it's that hearing them, seeing them, and hopefully it doesn't look like they're reading a script by me on the other side.
Yeah.
But I just feel that customer testimonial, because so many people are hesitant to use or to work with somebody who isn't a lawyer in my type of service doing legal documents. So that, to me, would be number 1 right there, because it's not so much about, Interest Legal is an awesome place to work, so it's not going to be my employee portrait. It's definitely going to be, who are my clients and what are they saying about me? And let's get them to, do it verbally. I think that would be awesome. And I just, like I said, been hesitant because I'm afraid I'm going to say something really stupid. So that's it.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing that, Carol. Yeah. It's dynamic, right? Like in video right now on Zoom, it's so much different. It's just a different communication of energy, and it's more engaging. Like it just is.
Yeah, it just seems more exciting and riveting for someone who wants to know. Not very many people like to read. I have a really great website and it's very personable, but it's really hard for me to take everything that I do and put it into something really short and sweet. So now, heck, let's get a customer tell others what I do.
Yeah.
I think that's way more powerful.
Totally. Thank you.
Sure.
Anyone else?
Yeah, I will share.
Thank you.
Customer testimonials is very, very cool for us. I mean, we take pictures, but when the customers actually talk about what they do, we do ask them. We don't do videos yet, even though I have all of the video equipment, but we just don't get the video because a lot of people are very scared. They're like, I don't want to talk about myself. I freeze up in front of the camera. And but that would be the thing. So we do take written testimonials and put that up, but I think video testimonials from customers would be awesome.
Yeah.
And also probably photos with the video, because we do have people that they'll bring their clothes in that they've just shrunk, and you can kind of see that, and it always works, it's like they do on Biggest Loser and everything like that. So I think that's why that would be more appropriate for us.
Yeah. Awesome.
But then behind the scenes, because behind the scenes is very confusing for us, because people still do not understand it. It's dealing with some complicated technology.
Yeah. Yeah. And I could see how customer testimonial videos, especially for your business, it sounds like, there's a lot of emotion around kind of feeling lighter and
yes.
So that
with self-confidence, and it's just, we get people that tell us, oh my gosh, I'm wearing a two-piece bikini for the first time in my life. How awesome. And
Yeah.
it's really great.
Yeah, that emotion is just it's gonna sing through a video. Yeah, that's excellent. Thank you. Anyone else?
Yeah, I would definitely do the web series. I think that all the others would be ideal as well, but for at least getting things going. So I breed and sell chickens and mealworms and superworms, especially on the chicken portion of the business. I have two different businesses, so I'm going to be building two different websites. But my price points on my birds, I have quail and pheasants, and I have birds that a lot of people don't even know exist.
Yeah.
And so showing their personalities, showing but it's like one thing, the colors of the feathers, another thing. But a lot of people have poultry, and they not give it food, give it water, but above and beyond that, there's a lot of people out there learning, especially with COVID-19. Just about everybody who was thinking about having chickens, as soon as the eggs disappeared off the shelf, they ran out and bought chickens.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of first time chicken owners out there, which is great, but there's a lot of education that people lack and strive for. And so my price points are a little bit different than what you might get at like a Tractor Supply or Farm Supply. And so it's, for customers, and even future customers, being able to be educated, have more in-depth knowledge of different diseases, care management. Like a lot of people get onto YouTube or on social media and they see something, and it can be as simple as adding apple cider vinegar to the water. But then people add it every single day, but it makes them more thirsty, and so they drink more, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it throws off their electrolytes. And so there's a lot of misinformation out there. And so, as part of my website, I want it to be a source of real hands-on experience that, people can get and see, in person rather than just kind of typed up as well. So.
Yeah, the web series sounds amazing. You have so much educational content. It sounds like that you could put together in a web series. Whether you're highlighting each bird and like dialing down really narrowly, or it's there's kind of like the care. Like gosh, you have so much great rich content that would be fantastic for.
Yeah, I mean, I have birds that people see them, like a good video or a good good picture, and then they'll have to have them.
Yeah.
Even
Awesome.
if they already have too many chickens. Yeah.
Thank you, Mansoor. Anyone else before we get into kind of the final segment here? I like what Joe said in the chat. I'm a former pro videographer, but ironically don't make time to make videos to promote my own products and services. Oh, Joe, I hope we can turn that around. Sounds like you have a big skill set there, and he says me too. That's great. Anyone else like to share of these four? All right, cool. No worries. We will move on. So these are the 8 video story types. And, the reason why we started with, why video and kind of those initial stats, the numbers speak for themselves about how amazing video is in customer engagement, how readily consumed it is as a medium. And the reason why we went into kind of this, I just wanted to help you understand the different formats that you can kind of experiment with video. And each of these story types, you know, they fit into one of those 4 categories or more. You know, it's either educational, it's about, you know, your product or your service, it's about a testimonial, you know, or it's about company culture. So like all of these video story types, I'm hoping are helping you start thinking about what kind of story you want to tell with your video. Or, you know, what kind of stories you want to tell with your videos. It sounds like there's, you know, there's more than one that kind of appeal and sound exciting. So this is the question I want to ask you right now. So you each have hopefully identified kind of 2 video story types that you could see being the most beneficial for your business. And so in between those 2, I would love for you to choose the one that sounds the most fun. So like, which one of those 2 sounds the most fun to you to kind of go after and take your shot at producing? And I would love for you to put that in the chat. And I'd also love for you to think about why. You know, just ask yourself why. Why does this sound the most fun? What is it about that story type that sounds really fun? And if you would write down just a few bullet points about that, you're going to need them in a minute. We're going to get into some breakout rooms and kind of discuss. All right, I'm looking at the chat to see which are the video story types that sound the most fun to you all. Joe says that would be having someone else do this for me. Okay, cool. The web series format, yeah, to increase engagement. That's great. How to avoid probate, yeah. Maybe not fun, you know, in the sense that it's a fun topic, but like that it's an important one for your customers to know. Yeah, awesome. The difference between a trust and a will. So that's kind of like product demo a little bit, or an explainer video. Awesome. All right. So as you've identified, hopefully by now, what video story type sounds the most fun to start with and why, like what about it sounds really fun. So now, before we get into breakout rooms, and hopefully Barbara can help me with that, I just would love to kind of encourage you to ask yourself these questions and maybe jot down a few notes right now. So as you're thinking about this video story type and this video is starting to kind of form in your mind, you know, where you want to start, ask yourself these questions. So what's the goal of your video? What story do you want to tell? And why do you want to tell it? You know, why is it important to tell? Or why is it fun to tell? How do you want people to feel when they're watching your video? And these questions are really just to kind of get the juices flowing. Jot down a few notes about what's happening. What's happening in the video? Where is it happening? Who's in the video? And then identifying, you know, what is the mood or the vibe of the video? Is it funny? Is it heartfelt? Is it, you know, sunny. Just write down some mood or vibe words to kind of help you think about. That really helps you identify and feeds into how you want people to feel when they're watching it. So as you're kind of jotting down these notes, I would love for you all to kind of share your video ideas as we go into our breakout rooms. And then at the end of that, we will come back together as a whole group, and I'll ask some people to kind of share a cool video idea that they heard or that they shared, and we'll wrap up.
Okay, so I've created 6 great breakout rooms. And it looks like there's 3 to 4 people in each room. So I'm going to open all the rooms and you guys will automatically pop into them. And then at the top, it'll tell you how much time you have left. Melody, how much time would you like to put in each room?
Yeah, let's do just a solid 15 minutes.
Wow, okay. All right, I think they're in their rooms. Welcome back, everyone.
All right. Hopefully you all had some good discussion. I would love to kind of hear if anyone felt like they had kind of a great video idea, or they heard one from someone in their group. Yeah, I'd love just a couple of volunteers to speak about what you all discussed.
In our group, I met with Roderick and Joe, and so with Roderick's personal experience, he wanted to focus more on actually, the story, telling his personal story, and I thought that was like very powerful. Just what he's gone through and sharing that, and sort of like the employee perspective of what he's doing and what he's going to be helping people with. So, and Joe's got years of photography that we didn't have enough time, but I was like trying to think, oh, how could he monetize that experience? But we bounce some stuff around with his passion and actually what he wants to do, and the type of video that would be ideal for him. So, and I felt like web series from a customer perspective, doing a customer journey would be more appropriate for us because it's more emotionally, gripping than anything else that we could try to do. And that actually made me feel, yay, that's actually good. I can get behind that. And awesome. Happily we'll do that instead of, let me tell you what we do, which is like, oh, so boring. So.
Excellent. That's great.
And Dr. Oladoke, if I'm pronouncing that correctly.
Yes.
Also brought up a program called Powtoons, Powtoons, that sounds like it would be really helpful, for having, for doing your own branding and consistency if you're doing a web series.
Excellent. Thanks, Joe.
Repeat the tool name. What was it called?
I'll type it here, Powtoons.
Great. Anyone else want to share? I just saw Carol share something about Brian in the chat. Brian is a karate teacher and can teach children how to have fun and do it properly so they don't get hurt. He's helping children engage in a healthy sport and makes it fun in the process. Plus, he is mobile. Awesome. Yeah, lots of great video content there. Teaching kids karate. That's awesome. I'll ask for one more share to the group. Either a video story you heard or or what your ideas kind of were. Yeah, go ahead, Roderick.
I think that if you are a one-person shop, you should give serious consideration to doing the employee portrait because it's something very deeply personal, tuning into your story and trying to help somebody look at put themselves in your shoes and you put themselves in their shoes. It establishes a rapport if you are just one person, as opposed to whenever you have a whole company that already has a culture, already has a background of services. You're trying to reach for those emotions. So that's pretty much the reason why I've chosen that specific option.
Fabulous. Thank you so much for sharing. Yeah, when you're running the show, you are the one, the business owner. Employee portrait is a great way to humanize, your business, basically. Yeah, fantastic. Thank you. Thank you so much for participating in that. I really hope that you found this valuable. I just wanted to open it up for either, sharing your most valuable takeaway for today. Like how do you want to take what you learned today, one thing, and carry it forward with you? And then if anyone has questions too, feel free to ask now. But then we also have a couple of business items as we close. So please stick with us for a few more minutes after that.
Yeah, I just want to say that I am excited that I actually attended this and I did sign up for the rest of the series because video is something that has been communicated to me that is very powerful, and I bought all the equipment but never did it just because I don't know where to start, like what to talk about, what to focus on. So this is giving me, my body, I had a visceral reaction with the web series and I was like, oh my gosh, we could do that for, like do customer journey. So it's pretty awesome. So that's like my big takeaway. The other ones are great too, but I was like, we could start with that. So I can't wait for the next series to put everything together so we could actually get going.
Oh, that's so exciting. Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that.
I would like to just say something real quick. I had suggested in the breakout that our group have an accountability. I actually offered my email to do an accountability group because I know that once this is done, it'll be really difficult for me to get back to it unless I have something on the calendar like, hey, let's do an email to the group and let's have a check-in in 2 weeks and see what our progress is. Or, oh, whoa, what about this? In 30 days, we each share our video. I don't know. I'm hoping that I get, some people who are interested in that, but I think that would help just to do it and not let me just shove it under the rug with everything else.
Awesome. Yeah. Anyone interested in accountability, reach out to Carol. It's terrific. We are, the part 2 and part 3 are spaced out. We'll have part 2 in 2 weeks and then part 3 in another 2 weeks. So it's kind of structured that way in order to kind of facilitate some of that accountability, like as we go through the process. So, but yeah, beyond that, yes, awesome. Lisa, I see
Melody,
your
could I
hand.
add one?
Oh yeah. And then I saw Lisa had her hand raised too, so I want to make sure.
Sorry, let her go.
Thanks, Brian.
Go ahead.
Hi, everyone. Yeah, for me, I think it's just interesting because I definitely want to use video content for my new business. So I'm starting my own wine import business, and it's launching soon. So the wines will be shipped from Germany next few weeks, and it's really exciting, and it's a lot happening right now. And I want to share, because I'm selling wines only online, so I have to have a really good content on my website and social media where I reach people. And they feel comfortable reaching out to me and, kind of create like a really personal experience, because there's like no wine bar or like a wine we can go to. So I need to find a way to use the feelings and the emotions to enjoy the wines and feel comfortable and actually getting to know the wineries and the winemakers from Germany and how they work and what they do, and that they're all sustainable and green businesses and family run, and kind of create like this really personal experience. So for me now, it's interesting or important that I start organizing all the ideas I have. So it was really helpful to get directions for sure.
Awesome.
Yeah. Thank you for that.
Thank you so much. Yeah, thanks for sharing that. Did you want to say something, Brian?
Just simply to thank everybody who participated for making a difference in my day today.
Thank you for being here.
You're welcome.
Can I ask, Carol's had her contact info up on the screen and it went away too fast. I'm not too good with all of the buttons and bells and whistles on Zoom. It's probably somewhere on the screen, but I'm not seeing it now.
Do you want me to just give it to you, Heather?
Yeah, go ahead, Carol.
It's Carol, CAROL at Intrust Legal. Intrust is it's I, N is in Nancy, trust, TRUST.
Got it.
Legal, LEGAL.com.
Okay, great. And that's your email.
Yes.
Okay, great. Yeah, I'm interested in, and what I wanted to ask Melody and the rest of the group is, has anybody ever used Slack for accountability and ongoing communication on projects? It's really, it's a great software, and it I don't know how to say it. It's kind of like Google Drive, but it's not scrolling forever, and you can see all the stuff in front of you and go to even breakout, like it's like breakout rooms, but it's basically, an organizational tool. But
Cool.
I think that's a really neat idea, Carol. I'm glad to hear about that. What do you think, Melody? And that way we could continue our work and even check in with the rest of the group while we're doing stuff.
Yeah, you're welcome to set up whatever kind of accountability you would like for each other. This is a wonderful community to be part of.
Yeah.
And I know we only have 3 more minutes, so I'm just going to kind of, I know Barbara has a couple of agenda items, and I just, thanks, Heather.
Could I ask for Dr. Oladoki, is her email somewhere, or the contact info, will it be available to us?
Heather, you know what, Heather, why don't you call me?
Okay.
And we can talk. Okay.
Very good. Thank you. Thanks, Barb.
Thank you. Okay, so just really quickly for next steps, I would encourage you to take all of this information that you kind of absorbed today and you engaged with, and just continue learning. If you jot down your video ideas, and even as you are consuming video, like as you are experiencing video, try and see if you can frame it in the video story type and say, oh, that's a testimonial. Oh, that's an employee portrait. That's a web series. Really try and engage with the material and build that awareness in terms of video story type. And then sign up for part 2. Come join me again, Tuesday, September 28th from noon to 1:30. We're going to be talking about crafting your story and actually kind of video production 101. And we're keeping it very simple and approachable. I'm really only going to be, talking about video production with a cell phone. So anyone can shoot video. It really just, I'm just going to give you some tips and tricks to kind of help frame the best production experience you can in a very simple way, but engaging also. And if you'd like to connect, that's my email, that's my phone number. I am here for you all. I really just appreciate each and every one of you for being here today and for having interest in video. And I could talk about it all day. So reach out to me if you have any questions or you want to brainstorm, about your video idea. I'd love to speak with you. And just thank you so much again for being here. And take it away, Barbara.
Thank you.
How about that? Can you hear me now? Such a great presentation. Thank you so much, Melody. I'm so looking forward to the next two. And I am really looking forward to seeing what people come back with. So I just wanted to let you know what we have coming up. Melody mentioned that we have her next two sessions coming. You can find them on our website, which is at the top, based on whatever center is closest to you. And then tomorrow we're having a WordPress, which is part 2. Part 1 is still on the website. If you want to watch that before part 2, you can do that. And then our entrepreneurial training class, there are several graduates in today's webinar. And if you are interested in doing that, it's a 10-session course. It's from 4 to 6:30. It starts tonight. It's virtual on Tuesdays. And that is a great community, like what Carol was talking about. It's a great community for people who are starting a business or new in business and just don't know where to go or want more community. It's a great class for that. So we hope to see you all soon. We hope to see you at our next one, and have a great day. Thanks so much for coming.
You too. Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks so much.
Bye.